Welcome back to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix. And yeah, I'm actually cleaning up. I've done 3 readings today. So here we are. I decided to do my New Year's message. I would have done it at my desk over there, but I'm just like, okay, well, I already have the camera set up here. Why not just record the message here? So that's what I'm doing. I'm recording the message here. So, before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Also, for those who do watch the tarot card readings, as well as watching the daily thoughts and everything else, for the tarot card readings, all of the January readings are up. So for all of the signs. The general readings are up for all of the signs. The love readings are up for all of the signs. And the money readings are up for all of the signs. So if you do watch the tarot card readings for this show, then feel free to check those out. As I always say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Oh boy, where to start? Well, first of all, we made it. So Happy New Year to all of you listening to this podcast. Thank you. You gave me an amazing 2022. My listenership for my podcast was through the roof for 2022. Like, the numbers were amazing. So thank you for that. I want to do more. That's what I'm telling myself. I want to do more. Like, I reached, I believe it was 32 countries in 2022. My podcast reached 32 countries. I want to reach 50 countries by the end of 2023. That is my goal. I want to reach 50 countries by the end of 2023, as well as some other things too. So yeah, first of all, be proud of yourself that you made it. Be thankful that you made it. Some people did not make it into 2023. Barbara Walters, no shade, is an example of that. I mean, she passed away, I think, on the 30th of December. 29th or the 30th, something like that. So, she was close. Just like, remember with Betty White, where everybody was so excited she was about to throw her big 100th birthday party when she turned 100 years old. And everybody was so excited. Show was booked and everything because it was going to be a big event. And then she passed away. Like, right before. So, it's just, life is something else. But, if you're still here, if you're still listening to this, if you're watching this, that means you still have work to do. We all still have work to do. That is why we are still here. When our work is completed, that's when we are out. That is when we leave and transition and get to come back, I guess, if we want to, and do it all over again. I seem to be a glutton for punishment. But that's a whole nother story for another day. Now, another thing I want people to do in this new year, besides being thankful that you made it into a new year, is to keep the same energy. Because, people say that a lot. Keep that same energy. That's honestly how I want people to be about their goals. It's like, because people are fired up right now. This energy, when I tell you, with Capricorn energy, with Saturn, and then you have Mercury retrograde, which is giving you time to fix things and do this and do that, like projects you put on, because that's the best time. Right now is the best time to work on projects that you put on the shelf and said, oh, I'll work on it one day. And you just put it on the shelf. I have scripts under this table right now from 10, 15 years ago that some I finished, others I need to finish. The ones that are finished, I kind of want to retweak now due to the time change, because I'll still eventually, either I'll produce them myself or either I'll sell them, but you still want to work on stuff. And their scripts 10, 15 years old. Bodyguard was like a 15-year-old script that they finally did. There was another script that was really old. I think it was with Benjamin Affleck or someone. And it's just a really old script, and they finally were able to get it produced and done. I forgot what movie it was, though. I have to look that up sometime. But I digress. The keep the same energy thing is that, okay, you're really into it now. you're really passionate about it now, can you maintain that later? Can you maintain it later? Can you go in and do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it? Because when I tell you, I would have loved to have slept in the bed today. But actually, and my auntie sent me a message while I was doing one of my readings. And, I've been working. That's what, when I woke up this morning, I had 2 big boxes. And this is just side stuff. But I had 2 big boxes that had food in them. Because I do the whole spare food thing because I want to make sure, if something goes crazy, at least I have some beans to eat or something. So I want to make sure I have spare food and water. So in some of my cases, I was noticing, all right, it's getting closer to the expiration date. Let's go ahead and swap some of this out right now. So I was transferring that stuff to the kitchen and putting them in the cabinets and whatnot. That way I could stock up on newer spare food and get that done. I still have some other cases in my other closet in there. But, I was like, okay, I want to get this done. And I was focused. I got that done. I was able to redo one of my other closets to fit my suitcases in there. Got that done. Storage containers in there. Floor I have space now, which is great. Also mopped inside the closet a little bit with my Swiffer too. So good. Been washing clothes this morning as well, because for some people they clean before New Year's, because the superstition thing is that if your house is dirty before New Year's, if you haven't cleaned up, then you'll be cleaning all year long. That's the superstition. For me, I was like, you know what? I want to do something different this year. Instead of just going crazy with the cleaning before New Year's, I'll do a few things here, a few things there, but I really want to start cleaning on New Year's Day. I really want to start making things fresh and new on New Year's Day. And that's what I've been doing. And I plan to keep that same energy throughout the year. I want to clean, and keep things clean throughout the year. Because as they say, cleanliness is next to godliness, and I want to be as close to God as possible, so I guess I need to clean more. So that is what I will be doing from now on. One thing that I've been asking myself is, are you being productive? That's the new sentence, that's the new question that I will be asking myself every single moment in 2023. Are you being productive with whatever I'm doing? Are you being productive, or is this productive with whatever I'm working on? And if I'm not working, why am I not working? Do I have a good reason for not working? It's basically like self-auditing, self-analysis is what it is. Taking a look at things. Are you being productive? And another thing I want to throw out for you as well for my New Year message, don't be afraid to try something new. Don't be afraid to try something new. It's always fun trying something new. And you may get it, you may not. At least you can say you tried. And maybe even if you don't get it, there may have been something in that lesson that you can carry to the next thing. So keep that in mind too. It's just like, because some people are afraid to step out of their comfort zones. And I can be like that at times too. I mean, I'm a Cancer. So we like routine. Us Cancers do. We like routine. Yeah, we can be spontaneous and whatnot. It's in us to do it. But for the most part, we prefer stability. We prefer routine. We don't have to be social butterflies, even though we can be. We don't have to have all the extra, even though we prefer all the extra. And by extra, I mean the material comforts and stuff like that. It's a thing of unknown territory, because you don't know what will happen when you go into unknown territory. Hence, why people are apprehensive about trying new things. But as I've said many times before, quoting Dorothy on the Golden Girls, when you take a chance, sometimes good things happen, sometimes bad things happen. But if you don't take a chance, nothing happens. So you always have to keep that in mind. I remember, and I've told the story before, and my longtime listeners, my Firebirds, you know the story. But I told the story before about my mother. My mother worked for the power company for 17 years. 17 years. She worked for the power company. That is what she did. And finally, she was just like, I gotta go. So she decided to go back to school, and she was still working at the power company part-time. She was working another job at the cable company part-time, and she was going to school part-time as well. And then, of course, she graduated, she got her degree, and then she made the decision to leave the job. And she went to work for the cable company full-time that she was working part-time for. And did an amazing job there too. And I had asked her one day, because I was like, you have been in the power company for 17 years. Why did you leave? It's like, the job clearly was stable. Everything was good. You made decent money. Why did you leave? And she told me because there wasn't any room for growth. She was like, that was as high as I was going to go. So based off of her analysis, where she's looking at her life and she's like, okay, something has to change because this isn't carrying me anywhere. And I have a family. I want more. And there's nothing wrong with wanting more. Don't ever let anyone shame you because you want more. There's nothing wrong with wanting what is your birthright anyway. All of the stuff, all of the abundance is technically our birthright, if you think about it, because of where we come from. We come from a divine cloth, which is God. Because we are children of God, yeah, you have to go through things. Obviously, it's not going to be easy. Life isn't supposed to be easy. If it was, you would never grow. However, there is still abundance available to every single person on the planet. Whether they want to pursue that abundance is up to them. And if they want to pursue that abundance because they want more in life, because they want nice things or want this or want that, there is nothing wrong with wanting. There's nothing wrong with that. I want a Lamborghini. Not because I want to impress anybody, because I don't care what people think. I want a Lamborghini because it is an amazing car. That's why I want one. The car is amazing. So, yeah, low, but still amazing. Because the whole low thing, because I have long legs. Yeah, but I digress. The point is that she wanted more. And she got more. She was able to get more. She ended up, when she got that job, she became the telemarketing manager, the Southeast Regional Telemarketing Manager. I had to think, what was her title again? Yeah, the Southeast Regional Telemarketing Manager. So when it came to telemarketing for the cable company, it usually had to go through my mother if it was in the South. So I think her states were Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. What else? I want to say Tennessee. And I think Alabama. And I feel like there might have been another state. I want to say it was 6 to 7 states that was considered her territory. So she went from being, I guess one might call, a glorified administrative assistant to becoming the Southeast Regional Telemarketing Manager of one of the largest cable companies in the U.S. So, yeah, obviously there was more available for her. But had she not taken the chance, had she not dared to try something new outside of the power company, then she wouldn't have became the Southeast Regional Telemarketing Manager for the cable company. So don't be afraid to try something new in 2023. And I'm not saying go out there and put your life in danger. I'm not saying go become an alligator hunter or trainer or something like that. Even though if it's on your spirit to become an alligator trainer like that lady that I see on Instagram, God bless her, then go ahead. Whatever. But I'm just saying something that brings you peace, something that makes you happy, something that gives you stability, where you're not constantly stressed, where you're not constantly questioning your worth, where you're not constantly questioning, okay, is this it for me? Is this the final destination for the job? I can tell you there's never a final destination for a job. As long as you are breathing, you have the option to look for another job or to start your own business. A lot of businesses will be started in 2023. Some because people are just feeling entrepreneurial. Others because some people are just going to be forced to. So it is what it is on that. But yeah, don't be afraid to try something new. And that's going to be really, really big in 2023. But with this new year, make sure that you build, I'm looking to word this very carefully. I have to articulate it carefully. Got to put the caveats in. For the relationships you build in 2023, make sure they are relationships worth building. You don't want to be friends with anybody and everybody. Some people you only want as acquaintances. I don't just befriend everyone. I might say friend, but usually I mean acquaintance is what I mean. I don't really consider myself having many true friends, as in I could count on one hand and probably wouldn't even be able to finish with 3 fingers. I would probably get the 3 fingers and quit. Just saying. So you don't want to have 20 or 50 or 100 friends. It's not about quantity. It's about quality. Because when things happen, and in 2023, I'm telling you now, things are going to happen in 2023. And when it does happen in 2023, the people you want in your corner with you are the people who can't be swayed. The people who don't budge easy, who don't bend easy or break easily. Those are the type of people you want in your corner. You want people in your corner in 2023 that are honest. I'm not saying they have to be perfect. I'm saying they have to have where their default is to be honest. Because even the most honest person will end up telling a lie, whether intentionally or unintentionally. At times, doesn't matter how honest someone is. People trip up because we are all human, myself included. However, you want someone with a default, where people have a default that they've developed throughout life, and it's based off of their experiences. If someone's default is to not take responsibility, if someone's default is to shift the blame somewhere else, if someone's default is to deny, those aren't the type of people you want in your energy in 2023. Those aren't the relationships you want to build. If someone's default is to own what they do, that's the person you want that can own what they do. And especially because for me, I own it and I'm unapologetic about it. That's just me. On this show, you get I don't want to say the watered down me. You still get it raw and real because I tell you what's on my mind, but I can get really, really gutter with it, and I don't. Because I want to do my best to keep this a family-friendly podcast. Now, my other podcast, that one's going to be a little bit more, but you'll see that as time goes on with that one. But the point is that you want someone in your life who owns it. You want someone where their default is to tell the truth. You want someone where their default is to seek the truth. Those are the type of people you want. You want someone where their default is, if they are friends with someone, true friends with someone, and they see their friend is going through, you want someone where their default is, they come in, they ask questions, and they're like, what can I do to help? Those are the type of people you want. You don't want people where their default is to take, and never give. You don't want unbalanced relationships. Again, you can't be friends with everybody. Because, and especially during 2023, Seven of Swords came out a lot, as I mentioned before. Every single reading, the Seven of Swords came out in one way or another. I did 3 collective readings today using all different decks. Seven of Swords came out. Every single reading. Different decks. Could mean strategy, but I wasn't picking that up. I was picking up deception. I was picking up shenanigans, is what I was picking up. You don't want people in that type of energy in your life dealing with the shenanigans. So always do an audit of yourself, do an audit of your friends, and see who should remain and who should go. That is what you have to do, because you have to protect your peace in 2023. All right? And that is my New Year's message, and that is my daily thought. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Till next time, be blessed.